I just want to talk to you about that book. It was a good segue.
Oh, did you read it?
No.
Okay.
But I want your thoughts,
Okay.
just face to face. Why do you think college is a scam?
Okay. So, half of this audience, if you get a job, will get a job that doesn't require a college degree. 41% of kids that enter college will not graduate. And the vast majority of kids, 60 to 70% that go to college, I believe study things that are completely worthless, meaningless, and don't enrich society at all.
But is that the fault of the student or the college? Because I looked in the stats for this. It's usually because they either don't have the finances to support themselves going to college, they have mental health problems that lead them to dropping out, or stress, or their family's not supporting them. So is that the fault of college that they pick bad degrees? Is that the fault of the college that they can't support themselves, right? It's like getting a gym membership and then saying, well, I don't want to actually go work out. It's the fault of the gym.
So, a good question. So first, the 41% of kids that drop out, the federal government will fully underwrite any four-year college through FAFSA. You know that, through a student loan. Meaning, so if anyone has financial difficulty, that's not really a thing. The federal government will fully grant you your loan to any four-year university, right? So you might not want to take on that student loan burden. You might not want to take that on, but that's number one. Number two, I can't speak to the mental health issues. I doubt that 41% of the kids that graduate in that number all have mental health issues, but maybe that's the case. I'm not sure. I don't know that number. But let's talk about the institution itself. So everyone in the audience here, how many of you have had to take classes that are a waste of time that you wish you didn't have to take, that are a waste of money, and that every single hand goes up? Look around, look around, look around, look around. They're scamming every kid in this audience. They are forcing them to take classes that make them poorer, that take up their time in order to get the credential. That is an institutional scam. And by the way, every other part of life is all about your own customization. Your Netflix account, how you get your burrito bowl, from how you dress, your Amazon cart is you are in charge. But you come to college and they say you must go take these 3, 4, 5 classes that are very expensive, especially for you out-of-state students, to go further into debt, study things that don't matter, to find jobs that don't exist. That sounds like a scam.
At least in my personal experience, right? Maybe some colleges, they're all like Nambian gender studies, right? They might all be that. But I would say...
What are you studying?
I'm studying economics.
Great, okay.
And what I would say is that I have a great levity and choices of classes I want to take. Even if there's a bunch of general education classes, I have a great flexibility in the class I want to take. It's up to the student if they want to take meaningless classes given their credit limit.
Okay, but I would just speculate that this school still has specific criteria of classes, right? Am I correct? Yeah, you have to take a diversity class. That sounds like a scam.
Well,
they are robbing you to take a diversity class.
It's actually not what you would typically think. I think.
I'm taking. Is it true? Do you guys have to take a diversity class?
No. This is true.
Okay.
This is true.
All right, so that's a scam. Let's be clear. Diversity class scam.
Can you define what a scam is?
When you are getting ripped off of with your money, your time, your resources, either beyond what is a market rate or against your will. So I'll give you an example. If you guys want to fly to New York and Spirit Airlines says we're going to charge you $2,500 for a one-way ticket, I think we'd all could agree flying Spirit Airlines for $2,500 is a scam. You know it when you see it.
It depends on how you view the worth of college. The Federal Reserve for San Francisco released a newsletter discussing the actual finances behind is college actually worth it, and they found that by age 40 you recoup the average student recoups all their costs
if they graduate.
If they graduate, and even accounting for that, other economists also state.
No, so that's an important study. If you take out the top 10%, that's not the case. So
top 10% of what?
Top 10% of graduates and income earners. So the top 10% end up flourishing with a college degree. The other 90% do not. Do you know that there are 11 million job openings in this country that pay $75,000 a year, that require 6 weeks of training, that require muscular labor or using your hands? 11 million job openings. Now, a lot of you guys are in college because you've been pushed into college saying that you must get the piece of paper, when there are good paying jobs, 11 million of them, but either your society, your parents, or your own choices are, no, I want to go to college, I want to go after that piece of paper. My contention is that there are way better options out there for a lot of students. Not every student, but almost a lot of other students.
Charlie, I think a part of your core rhetoric, there's actually some real truth there that, like, I think there's people who are getting really just pressure to go to college even if they're making poor choices. I'm just saying that even while you're in college, you can make better choices to make yourself a better
totally
candidate.
agree. Do you think most people do?
I know some that are making great choices.
Okay.
I know some that are making terrible choices.
So let's think about this. Why do you think, let's just say most make terrible choices? Would you say that's the case?
I'll give you 40 to 60.
Why do you think that is? Maybe because the institution incentivizes bad choices. It's easy to coast and still graduate. It's easy just to check the boxes, right? It's not an institution designed around excellence. It's around, let's get you through the mill as quickly as possible, get the piece of paper, pay your bill. Thank you very much.
But do you think that the culture around students going to college could change instead, around their decision making?
I think we need way less kids going to college. The institution itself is so broken, let's be clear. Forced diversity classes, DEI, all that stuff, it's nonsense. If it was really, college really should be closer to what Hillsdale College is, which is about wisdom, beauty, truth, goodness, not just about job preparedness. But we've lost that completely. If it's about doctors, lawyers, engineers, and the skills, of course. But you know that. It's way beyond that. I mean, people going to, not to pick on you, but you're studying economics. That's terrific. That's a good reason to go to college. It's not the best reason, I'll be honest, but it's a good reason, right? I mean, economics is a serious discipline. It's a real science. You know, we need people really rigorously studying that. So.
Okay,
we just have a difference of opinion.
I just want to ask you a question.
Sure.
So what would you do, like, if you were a policymaker?
I would defund all the colleges in the country. Make them stand on their own 2 feet. With either tuition or donor money. Taxpayers should not be subsidizing higher education, period. Survive on your own.
All right.
Thank you.
You said that economics was not the best thing to study in your opinion. Like,
Correct.
when I put my hand up, the question I wanted to ask was like, what do you actually think the best thing to study is?
Well,
the best
I mean,
reason to come to college.
Again, if you're going to a super left-wing college and you're trying to just get the piece of paper and credential, I mean, you should go at what the college is, if it's known for, if it's best at. And so I don't know what UW is known for or what it's best at. But, I mean, computer science, right? I would imagine the Paul Allen School, is that right? Or am I correct? This is up top of my head. Is that right? It's right here, right? Yeah. So, but yeah, those fields in particular. But sociology or the life sciences or soft social sciences typically do not have as much of an ROI on the time or the money spent.
And so
economics is in the middle ground there.
And so you said that you would defund colleges, state colleges on a national level.
Yes.
And so basically that would mean that there are no subsidies going out to students, like in-state students or anything like that.
I mean, you don't get to determine what the states do, but yes, federally, all federal grants should end completely. Yes.
Okay.
Make these institutions survive on their own. If they're so wonderful and they're so great, then make it work. Make your numbers work.
And so then, what is the difference between a state college and a privately owned college?
Well, so UW gets subsidized in-state tuition here, right?
Yeah.
So if you go to
that's why I'm paying only
no for
10,
sure
12,000
no
a year
for sure, but
rent.
you're paying it back in taxes. Let's be clear, right? So taxes make that possible, and your parents or you paid that in for 18
That's
years,
fine, yeah.
so you get that back. But a private school, I don't know, is there University of Seattle? Is that a thing? Or
Yes.
okay, which I'm guessing is private.
Seattle U, yeah.
Okay, that they do not get money from Olympia to subsidize the tuition. So they have to stand on their own 2 feet.
Right.
So they have higher tuition.
Yeah.
And they have to justify to donors how they're doing every single year.
Yeah.
But they still might get some federal money. Does that make sense?
Yes. And you're saying this on the grounds of required like diversity credits and
No, I just
things
think,
like
I
that?
mean, look around. Has college enriched our society? The young people are the most depressed. They're the most anxious, the most alcohol addicted, drug addicted, least married, most angry generation in American history.
Is that all due
Hold
to
on.
college?
Where does it come from though? I mean, they're the most college-educated, most credentialed generation in history. Where do these ideas come from?
I would argue that they come from the fact that there are too many people and not enough jobs. And to stand out of the crowd, to stand out of the masses, you need to get yourself some credentials.
I totally
so that
agree. So you want to stand out? Don't go to college.
Then you're not going to get hired.
Worked for me.
Work for you.
Start your own business. By the way, that's not true. Half of employers no longer require a college degree requirement.
Well,
Half.
okay, I'm talking about more specialized jobs.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
As far as trades go, okay, that makes sense.
11 million
trade.
11 million job openings for trades.
Yeah, you're using your muscles to get your daily wage.
Well,
right?
it's not just muscles though. Like for advanced engineering is not easy. That's not just picking up lumber and putting on one side of the warehouse. That's very specific. And by the way, you can learn to code in 8 weeks and earn 100 grand a year.
You can.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you don't need to go to University of Washington.
The thing is though that you are not going to get hired over somebody that has graduated from UW
You'd be
with
surprised.
a computer science degree.
You've been sold a lie. You've been surprised. You'd be really surprised. Employers less and less likely actually want to hire kids from college because they work the least, they're the most entitled, and they're quickest to run to HR about problems and mispronouncing people. You'd be surprised. No, it's true for like the big firms like Microsoft, Amazon, Starbucks. Like they obviously want you to have a college degree.
Yeah.
But mid-major companies, mid-level companies increasingly don't care. They care about can you do the job? Like, do you have any sort of skill? Are you going to work really hard? Do you have good character?
That makes sense for like startups and such.
Yeah,
yes.
for sure.
However,
and here's the thing. Just sorry to interrupt, but after like 5 years, nobody cares where you went to college. Just so we're clear. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah.
Yeah, all good. I mean,
we just have a disagreement here. My whole point is to try to push the boundaries of discussion to make you guys open your eyes and realize you guys are getting ripped off by the institution here, and that's it. So
yeah, so I do not believe that I'm getting ripped off because in my field, it is very important, especially with how oversaturated it is right now. I'm studying CS. Computer science, yes.
There's tons of jobs in computer. But I mean, there might not be though. I mean,
there aren't. That's the point.
AI might take all your jobs away sometime soon. By the way,
to stand out, the whole point is that here and elsewhere around the country, we're doing a bunch of research on how computer scientists and like engineers in general are still going to be useful with the rise of AI. Elsewhere, you don't learn stuff like that. You learn the basics of programming. You've maybe heard about like the Harvard 8-week course, right, that you were probably talking about just a second ago.
One of many.
However, when you actually do take that course, you don't get a lot of the reasoning skills, a lot of the practical application skills, and a lot of the things that I'm learning every day in my classes. And so the fact that you can learn it in 8 weeks and get a job because you have the qualifications, it's true maybe, but in the market that we have right now where the job market is super oversaturated, there are a ton of people getting computer science degrees.
Yep.
These employers, most of the like high level ones that are going to pay you a lot of money, are not looking for somebody who has the base level qualifications. They're looking for more than that. And one more thing is that to get these jobs coming straight out of college, even with a degree in computer science from UW, which UW is known for computer science, you are going to have years and years of internship and job experience in most cases. Otherwise, you're going to be doing the base level.
Fair enough.
Right?
So we just have a difference of a worldview. I say, why not graduate from high school, learn to code, and go beg for an internship and bypass the college thing completely? You'd be amazed at how willing people are to help with that. Again, you guys have been largely sold a lie that you need to march through this place for 4 years and check the boxes and get the piece of paper, and it's been dangled in front of you. I'm here to tell you, and I'm only 10 years older than you, that the world doesn't really care you went to college. They care when you come out of college as your first job. Once you're in the door, it really is rather irrelevant. But we disagree. So
okay, that's fair.